Hello, this is Mandy Bosico from the Mandy Bosico Atelier in Vancouver, Canada. This is a short video on getting started with charcoals, and in particular we're going to look at Nitram or Nitram charcoals, currently made in Canada, previously made in France. And the ones that we'll be needing are the yellow, which is the very soft and very dark, the green, which is the B, and you get 5 sticks, the HB, and you also get 5 sticks, and the H, and there's 5 sticks in each packet. Next, you'll need a sanding block. You can choose from Nitram's own sanding block, or you can get one of mine, which is a double-sided, rough on one side, fine on the other side. You might choose to use a blending stump. We won't always be using this, so this is optional for now. You can get a very large one, a medium-sized one. This is a tortillon, and something slightly smaller. And what I do use quite a lot is a very, very fine one. What we will be needing are some hard bristle brushes. The cheaper and the harder, the better. These are round bristle brushes, and they're good for turning the form. We definitely want a kneadable eraser. This is my eraser of choice, Prismacolor. And since charcoals wear down very, very quickly, we'll end up with lots of stubs. Rather than throwing them away, we'll want some kind of charcoal holder. So a pencil holder might be a bit too small. If you can find a wide barrel pencil holder, that might be good. And here's a variety of other charcoal holders. They usually open up and then have a ring that you can slide forward to tighten the charcoal in place. And this is a nice brass one that's double-ended, so that's very handy. As always, a knitting needle for measuring, and for blending and for getting some areas smoother, we need a chamois. And much more usefully is a dishwashing sponge. This one is from Vileda, and it's very dense sponge, very dense foam on one side. The other side is a scrubber, so that's not what we're going to use. But it's nice and hard, nice and firm, so we can hold things really well. And you can cut this sponge down and even fit it into a holder, and that's for fine blending. And you can cut that sponge down into lots of different sizes, depending on your needs. This is the box that I use. It's from Daiso. It's A4, so basically it's meant to fit paper, and it has a nice lock to it. You can open it up and put things on 2 sides. And I'll show you how to do that right now. So on the one side, I've got all my stubs, and on the other side, I'm going to lay out in order of dark to light my different longer charcoal sticks. So I've got the yellow, really dark, and then the green, which is our B, that's our workhorse. Then I've got my long sticks of HB, the orange ones. And finally, I'm going to have my long sticks of H, the blue ones. So this is what my workbox looks like. The flathead screwdriver is for opening up those charcoal holders so that I can slide my square stick into a round hole and then slide that ring forward. And I've got various blenders, I've got some makeup sponges, I've got all my erasers, and you can see my different tools lined up, as well as my sanding block. Let's have a look at what you get in the box. So this is the green box, it's the B, and normally there are 5 sticks in there. I've only got 2 left that are brand new in the box, but that's what it looks like. It's pretty square. It's not really usable in this form, so we need to sharpen it. Let's have a look at sharpening. We want to get to something that is very nice and pointed, a very nice long taper, and the pointier the better. So we have a bit of preparation. We can use this sanding block, or I'm going to use my own sanding block. And when I do, I have to figure out which is the rough side and choose that one. And for the purposes of convenience, this part of the video is sped up by 2 times. Otherwise it would be quite tedious for you to watch me sanding away. But you can see what I'm doing. I'm holding the sanding block in my non-dominant hand, my left hand, and I've got the charcoal stick in my right hand, and I'm pushing into the sanding block. I'm not going across the sanding block because the last thing I want to do is to snap that charcoal stick. I just want to get it into a nice long taper. Every now and again I stop and check to see what my stick looks like. I do want it to be a nice long taper, and I don't want it to be lopsided and just sanded on the one side. I want to make sure that things are quite equal, and I want to get from something fairly square that comes out of the box to something that looks like a needle point. So I keep checking, and I'm going to save all of that charcoal dust from the bee because we might use it for turning the form later. Now I've switched to a different sanding block, and I'm just going on the fine side to get that nice point. Once a taper is done on the rough side, the point is done on the fine side. I know I've mentioned to some of my students that you will need a dedicated sanding block for charcoal. So don't use the same sanding block for charcoal and for colored pencils and for graphite. And in fact, it might be an idea to get two sanding blocks for charcoal. One where you keep the dust from the bee stick, and the other one where you use the fine side and sharpen all the other sticks, the H, B, and the H. So two sanding blocks, it's probably better than one. And we're getting close to the end of sanding this first stick. You will need to sand more than one stick. You'll definitely need to sharpen at least one of the bees, maybe two. That's going to be our workhorse. And you'll need to sharpen an HB, and you'll also need to sharpen an H. So good luck, and see you with nice sharpened charcoal sticks.